daylight, some places it's nighttime. But here in Cleveland, Ohio, where I'm at right now, it's nighttime. The weather is pretty decent. We had some snow flurries today, and it's pretty chilly. Supposed to be springtime after Easter, but that's the kind of weather we be getting. And, well, I can't complain because, believe me, the weather has been pretty great uh, where I reside at. And I hope that, you know, wherever you're at, I hope the weather is treating you kindly and not too bad. But, you know, that's the way the weather is, it does that. But here it's going to be summertime. We're going to be wishing for this cold weather and everything because it's going to warm up considerably pretty soon. Okay, how have you been doing? How have Dottie's been doing? My friend there, how have you been doing? I know you've been doing all right. It's always there, always sitting there, checking me out, everything I say, you know. If I say something wrong, wait a minute, well, you said this, you said it. I say, oh, I'm sorry, you know. Oh, you did. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the nice show. People are normal. You know, this is what we're all about. You know, sometimes we have to question our people normal in today's world, but we talk about that, you know, and, you know, sometimes, you know, people got a lot of ideas of their own, you know. You can see one person or you can present one thing to a person. And that person might think of it one way, and another person, everybody think of things differently. You know, it's just like people, you know, you got different attitudes and feelings about you. You know, how many different feelings, you know, how many people feel differently about you. You know, your friends, your family, your neighbors. You know, you got some that feel the same way, but then you got those differences there. And, you know, and it sort of drives you to have the kind of attitude that you have today. A lot of people, you know, they don't feel too well today. They say, wow, they're not too happy. You know, you find a lot of people that say they're not very happy today. People are, you know, they feel that, you know, the world is hopeless. But what you got to remember is that we are experiencing one of the best times or the best eras of our history. Because we are enjoying prosperity. There are a lot of jobs. You know, employment is good. You know, purchasing power is good. We have all these things. But what it is, we are taking these good things for granted. You know, for granted because when you have something, it's just like rich kids. When rich kids they have everything they want. Everything they can think of, their parents give them. You know, a lot of them don't have to work for it or anything. They just have everything. They take it for granted what it's all about to really have to earn what they have. Really have to acquire all these things and go through the ups and downs and the hardships to do it. A lot of them haven't experienced that. They just experienced a well-kept life, and they take that for granted. And that's the way it is in everyday life now. In our country, as a total country, a lot of places that we take these type of things for granted, you see. And we get bored. We get bored and bored and bored, and we want excitement. and anything rather than just peace. You know, they want excitement. They want to hear this. All these bad things are happening is what people deep down within they want to see things happen. It's just like going to the football game, the basketball game, boxing, all these kind of things. It's because they want to see that competition. They get this feeling out of seeing one team or one opponent depose or conquer another one, that sort of thing. You know, they want to see this competition. They want to see somebody win, and they want to see somebody lose. Now, when you look at competition like that, what do you want to see? Do you want to see someone win, or do you want to see someone lose? How do you feel about it? Do you crave to see the loser, to see someone lose, or to see someone win? You know, a lot of people don't think about it. But sometimes if you check it out, you might find yourself preferring to have the feeling of seeing someone lose rather than the feeling of seeing someone win. Now, personally, in sports, I like the feeling of the winner, seeing somebody win. I like that feeling rather than seeing somebody lose. You know, but there have been times now if you got teams out there or something like that, and you want to see them lose. You want to see that. If I got a preference, if I got a team that I like, or I got someone that I like in the sports world, I want to see them win. You know, and if they lose, then I feel bad. It's a bad feeling if they lose. You know, but that's the way it is. So this country right here is they just want excitement. But if they get the kind of excitement they want, then they'll say, oh wow, like, you know, I wish it was like it used to be a long time ago. Things like that. So let's check ourselves out and see just what's happening. Hey, look. Oh yeah, I gotta say, hello, Neha. How you doing? Oh wow, she's such a one. I always mention her. She's so wonderful. She she's with the roadies now. She's a judge on roadies. I don't know if you've seen any other, but man, look like hundreds of thousands of people. You know, they I guess they try to get on the show or try to get a part on the show. I mean, not and I think they got four or five judges, and so you got thousands and thousands of people who wants to get on the show, and they got to judge the people. But I mean, they be going through all sorts of things, you know. I mean, all sorts of excitement and stuff like that. So I'm quite sure she's real busy, and she has all sorts of things to do. But I just wanted to say hello to her, and I'm always thinking about her fans, and I'm keeping her fans together in America, in Cleveland, in New York. She got a nice fan. We love her. We want to see her. We want to see the best for her. We want to see things work out for her. And she just made cover girl for Femina magazine. The Femina magazine. She just made cover girl for that. It is beautiful. Plus, she got a video. And it is wonderful too. I mean, the girl is out of sight. So we all love you, Neha. So hang in there. I hope to see you one of these days. Okay. Humor. they say humor is necessary. Okay, here's something humorous. Guy come up to me. He says, Thurman, heard a lot about you. I smiled. I said, that's good. He said, but I have forgotten something. I said, what have you forgot? He said, I don't know. Seems like I can't remember anything. I said, wow. I said, well, uh, here, here, I showed him a book. I said, do this book bring back memories to you? He said, no, not this book don't bring back. So I said, So, said a pencil. I said, here's a pencil. Do that bring back memories to you? Say, no, that don't do it. I said, well, I looked around. I said, oh, here's a key. Does this bring back memories? Say, no. I said, now how am I going to help this person? You know? So I said, idea. So I went out of my pocket. I got out a penny. A little penny. I said, how about this? He said, oh my goodness. That brings back memories. He said, now I remember everything. You know why? The guy had plenty of money. It's plenty of money in a penny. It's millions and billions of dollars in a penny. It's the symbolism of what a penny is all about. Okay, so I thought you liked that. You know, everybody better check and see it. I got a lot. I keep pennies. I got plenty little pennies. But the thing about pennies is they can be a nuisance. And then if you save pennies, and then you look at it, and then you start counting them pennies, then you get depressed. Look how heavy these pennies are. And I don't got nothing. You know what I mean? But it's all in a dollar. It's all in a $5 bill, a $20 bill, a $100 bill, a $1,000 bill. It's all in there. Not the penny, but what the penny is all about. You see, that's what makes the penny such a valuable thing. What it's all about. What it represents. Its value in representation. You see. So, you know, remember that. Now, okay, what's in the news? What's in the news? 1867, the United States purchased Alaska. The United States purchased Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million. Now, this was a week ago, Wednesday, on that date, a week ago. $7.2 million. What does it represent? It represents agreement. Evidently, Russia owned Alaska at one time. Now, Alaska is on another continent. You got two separate continents, the North American continent and Asia continent. Russia is in the Asian continent, and Alaska is in the North American continent. So evidently, they say, well, Alaska rightfully belongs to you. So here, you give me $7.2 million and you can have your property. So I guess they did that because why? It was the right thing to do. Consideration. That's what consideration is. Because, I guess Russia had consideration for that Alaska being in the North American continent, the continent of North America. So when we have to look back, we got to remember these things. Like the guy who forgot. He couldn't remember nothing. A lot of times you can't remember that. You have to go back. You have to go back to your memory. Go back to history. And see what was going on. You see. But that is what happened in 1867. It's happening today. You know why it's happening today? But it's happening now on a different level. It's happening a little different now. It involves not Russia, but now it involves India and certain things that's happening. Now, we're grown-ups, we're mature people. It's not about Russia, Alaska, and the face value. It's about other things. Other things that constitute entering a course in the future. Not a collision, but entering a workable, peaceful course for whatever reason. Now with Russia, and Alaska, the United States, it was about consideration. So here we're talking consideration again. Say, okay, these events happening, so we owe you something. Am I saying me? If it was me, I say, I know what you owe me. You owe me my girl, man. I got divorced. And I'm gonna lay it on line. I got divorced. I've been separated from my family and my wife. For years. It's been many years. I've been a lonely man. I would say cheated of his life. Do I think that, or do I believe that they owe me something? According to Russia and Alaska, and according to India and California, yes, sure, that's consideration. So I want mine. It cost me something. And what I got now, whatever the consideration is, that's an agreement. Agreement that I wish to keep. That's the outline now. That's the outline of our daily demands. Remember, life demands certain things. It demands that we are knowledgeable and that we have common sense. So the outline, our global outline, and the footprint, the giant steps that we have taken is all about a common sense. See, it's not. It's already about what has happened, and it's about fairness and so forth. It's about conscience. Okay. How about right? Okay. So I, that's the way it is. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or nothing, but that's the way it is. I mean, you got to. I mean, you got to. Sometimes you got to. That it happens that way. Okay. For the 1886 Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola was considered as a medicine. Cured a lot of ailments, so they said. Coca-Cola. One time, I broiled Coca-Cola, and it turned into a hard rock. It was black and a hard rock. It was Coca-Cola. Now, to say that conversion doesn't have healing qualities, who's to say? It might have healing qualities under certain conditions. You see? So these kind of things we have to remember, we have to keep in mind about our daily life and how we live our life, how we choose to live our life. Okay, we're going to talk about something that might be an interest to you tonight. We're going to talk about hostility. And Thurman is going to enlighten us about hostility a little bit. So, Thurman, you're out there. Where are you? Well, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone out there tonight. Hostility. What do I think about hostility? A hostile environment. First, let's talk about a hostile environment if we want to know what hostility is all about. Water. Did you know that water is hostile? It is hostile because we cannot live in water. We got to have it. We got to drink water. It is necessary. We need the moisture and all these things. But it is very hostile to us. We cannot live in it. We cannot breathe. There are so many elements in the water that threatens your life. Sharks, whales, electric eels, all these, a lot of poisonous fish, stingray, jellyfish, all these things, you see. So that's a hostile environment. So when we look at our world, and we come up on land and in the city or the country or wherever we live, and when someone says, this is a hostile environment or a hostile community or whatever, it's because that you as an individual, not so much, it hasn't anything to do with hatred, but it has to do with the way things work. You got the haves, the have-nots. You got the people that experience good fortune and the people that does not. Hostility is about knowledge. It's about knowing the differences and having preferences. You might like someone better than someone else. You know, you might have a little hostility uh, against that someone if that someone comes between you and what you like. You know, bad feelings. You start having bad feelings because you are saying you're keeping me from what I wish to have or what I want. So I'm going to become hostile toward you. Not because I don't like you, not because I don't hate you. It's because you're preventing me from having what I wish to have. Once I become hostile, then you become hostile. And after a while, your friends might accept your views, or my friends might accept my views, and we have a bunch of hostile people who are hostile to each other. Why? Because two people disagreed, or two people had a dispute. And those two people created or was the cause of the creation or organization of a whole lot of people against each other. Because two people. Bad feelings. When you're threatened by someone, you can be threatened by someone not just because someone voicing verbal words. You can be threatening because of your appearance, because you might look better than somebody else. All of a sudden, you become a threat. It's like a man or a woman who comes around a certain circle of people. That person might have what it takes to be successful, or what other people would like to have. So when that woman or that girl, or that woman or that man enters the room or enters the presence of others, feel threatened by that person. I have had a lot of people like that years ago. I don't know about now. But they were threatened by me. Not because I was a bad person, because I represented something that they would like to represent for themselves, to have for themselves. And I sort of dominated by having that kind of representation. And they felt threatened. Not only threatened, but out of that feeling of being threatened came hostility. When you have the nicest people in the world who care about each other and have no reason really to be hostile against each other, and suddenly you find these people hostile against each other because they feel threatened, and they do not really know why they feel threatened. And you know why? A lot of time it comes from ignorance, because they don't know the truth of what's going on. Because if they did know the truth of what's happening, they wouldn't feel threatened anymore, because they could solve their problems. They would be more understanding, and they would be more willing to talk to each other about this situation. But when you got mass confusion and you can't talk about this situation, all you can do is wander or have a good guess about something, but you don't really know. When it's like that, you're going to become sort of hostile. You're going to become sort of an individual individuality. And individuality is all about attitude. Because if you say something that I don't like, or I say something that you don't like, that's attitude. That individuality is going to cause a clash. You see, you could be a narcissist and threaten other people by being a narcissist because you think you're better than others. You know, you might not think, personally, I don't think I'm better than nobody else. I drink booze, I smoke, sex, all those things. I don't even try to be better than nobody else. I don't want to be better than nobody else. I want to enjoy life. I'm not a narcissist. But one thing I do know, that I am a quality person. I am a quality person among quality circles. You see, I have talent. I know this. You know, I am a very capable person. I have a lot of possibilities. And those things I hold dear to me. And if someone else is threatened by the way I feel about me, then it's nothing I can say. You know, nonconformity. You get the person say, well, you don't conform to the way things are, to the way others want you to do. You are nonconformist. You can't conform to it. It's too much individuality, independent thinking. You are too independent. You don't want to need others. Nobody wants to need other people. That is natural for me. Sure, I want to be independent, where I would never have to ask for a penny, or a dime, or even a quarter. I want to be that independent, yes. Now, if I want to conform to the way you want it, and I have to beg you for a nickel or a dime or a piece of bread, forget it. It ain't going to work. Because everything I do is going to be about making things better for me. And the only way we're going to get along, if you understand that. If you say, what would I do if I was him? You would probably think the same way I do. 9 times out of 10. So, let's go on and see what else we can talk about that you might be interested in. Well, I hear you loud and clear, and I think my audience hear you loud and clear. Me, myself, and I. What do I think about it? What do I think me as an individual? What do I think about myself? Okay, I am knowledgeable. Sure, I know about certain things. I know about certain things, but I, for myself, have certain values. Like I said, where you're non-conforming. If me, the person that I hold dear, me, if me don't conform to myself, this is myself. You know, usually I have a tie on, which I would say myself. Let's see. I look at this as myself. It is myself. You see. If me or I don't conform to myself, then that is the hostility that he's talking about. Sure, I know about the outline. I know what's going on today, in today's world. But that is me, myself, and I. I. You know, when you see the North American continent, the Asian continent, and what's going on, the interaction that's happening, or the relationship between us is happening, that is the greater I, the greater self. You know, this is thinking of our greater self, or we can call it our years ahead future, or whatever. This is that thing. This is where certain beliefs come from, and these and cultures are created, from these basic ideas of the land that we live upon. Sure, I know. Should I get upset? Why don't I get upset? Because me, myself, and I, there is a tolerance gap between each one. There's a tolerance gap between me and myself. There's a tolerance gap between myself and I. So that means that we are living actually different lives. Different lives. Like me and my tie, I might work downtown in the administration building with a tie on. I might be a supervisor or something like that. But then again, me, on the other hand, I might not be doing anything. I might be just out here working in a factory or something like that. But we are, okay, look at it like this. Everybody have two hands. They have two shoulders with a head on their shoulders. They have a body. They have hair on their head, all these type of things. We share those similarities. Me, myself, and I share those similarities. But there's a difference. The difference is the fingerprint. No two people have the same fingerprints. You see? So that is a slight difference, a difference that you really can't see. But it is a difference. You know? Like I said, I might work in an administration building somewhere. But me, I might work in a factory. But we are so similar. But we are individuals at the same time. So yes, I know what he's talking about. Sure, there is consideration and fairness. What I believe if he has a girlfriend and he has been, how many people you know have been given a second chance in life? If I was him, I would hold that dear. A second chance in life, I wouldn't let it go past. I wouldn't let it get away from me. I'd keep it. That's the way it is in life. Hey, we could go on, but we're gonna do a short show tonight because I have something to do. I have to take care of some very, very important business. But we will see you on the next show, and we're going to continue bringing you quality shows, quality talk, no holds barred, and we're going to level with you about this whole thing. So I'll see you. Take care. Until next time, be good. Be good to each other. And see you later. Can't get you out of my mind. Can't get you out of my mind. What can I say? Can't get it out of my mind. And what can I say to such a pretty little girl? Can't get you out of my mind. Can't get you out of my mind. Can't get you out of my mind. You know I love you, just wanna hug you. Can't get you out of my mind. Can't get you out of my mind. On the floor dancing. Can't get you out of my mind. Just a princess. Can't get you out of my mind. Now I'm thinking of you every day. Can't get you out of my mind. What can I teach you? How can I meet you? Can't get you out of my mind. Can't get you out of my mind. Can't get you out of my mind. You are so pretty. Can't get you out of my mind. You are so beautiful. Can't get you out of my mind. Now I'm just asking, can this little love last? Can't get you over my mind. Can't get you over my mind. Can't get you over my mind. No, I can't get you over my mind. Can't get you over my mind. This is the city, and I'm so busy, busy with you, my love. Now I'm just asking, can you be all mine? Can't get you off my mind. Problem, can't get 'em off my mind. And the causes of them, can't get 'em off my mind. And the mystery, can't get it out of my mind. Puzzle me. Can't get you out of my mind. 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 What can I say to such a pretty little girl? Can't get you out of my mind. You know I love you. Can't get you out of my mind. Just wanna hug you.
Can't get you out of my mind.